All right. We're going to do something we haven't done in a while. YouTube, what is happening? As soon as we get off that bug stain on the windshield, get that out of view, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I have to deal with it. Hey, YouTube, what's going on? Haven't done this in a while, done a live. Figured we check in before I don't know. I've been staying also out of tune with stuff. I don't even know what's going on half the time, I don't think. Um, but hope everybody's doing well. We're giving you an obligatory shot at the leaves changing. Got to do that this time of year and whatnot. But chaos abounds around us, apparently. I don't know. It's at the point. Um, I think a lot of things are so anecdotal that it doesn't affect most of us. Like I think I said in one of the last videos I did, um, 90% of us are going to be fine for whatever's coming. But I think the thing that also kind of revise that statement, we're going to be fine in the near term or whatever, but it's still going to have long lasting effects. Because one thing, and I've been doing, I shared a couple of videos on my communities tab there a while back. Um, I mean, stuff we were talking about 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, etc. It's like, it ain't changing none of those predictions, ain't changing none of those thoughts. It still seems to be on point. So I'm not going to put out anything new so I don't contradict myself because I think I've said enough. And I don't think there's any reason to beat a dead horse, really. It's like if people aren't on the game at this point, like they're not going to stumble across my channel and learn anything, you know. I don't think. But I guess some people are just now coming to the reality of what's going down. I don't know. I don't know how it takes people this long, uh, 10 months into a government lockdown, government shutdown of the economy, all the other stuff that's going on. Like, how long does it take people? People have been locked in their homes doing nothing. Apparently, some still are, which baffles me. Um, that there's some people that still haven't got out of quote unquote lockdown. This makes me shake my head. Like, really? What do you do, or where do you live? um, but I guess that still exists, which is baffling. And you think those people would surf enough YouTube and internet in this past few months that they would uh, figure something out. But man, I guess I got to get my game up because YouTube channels are getting shut down over certain things, and I guess this Biden thing has really put it over the top with this latest. Everybody knew his son was a dirtbag, and but yet they're censoring stuff with this revelation stuff coming out of Ukraine, and even that was sharing that on Twitter. Like, man, we saw this. Ukraine's been a banker war forever, and Biden's a bought and paid for banker henchman. It's like, is this surprise anybody? Man, it's just like everything fits together eventually. You just don't know all the pieces to begin with, you know. So when you're putting a puzzle together, you know exactly how it's going to get put together, but you will get there eventually. But I got to up my game so I get the channel canceled, and then I won't have to worry about checking in here with you guys anymore. And you guys won't have to worry about listening to me, so we'll all be even, right? But just doing the lunch thing, and I've checked in on a few channels. I'm not nearly up to date on anybody's current videos, so don't ask or talk about them because I wouldn't know what you're talking about. So that is what that is. Um, but I hope everybody's still doing the thing, doing the things, the micro steps that we're at this point of refining your preparations. Because it just continues to get more bizarre by the day, if not the hour, depending on where you're at. The video this morning, and now I forgot. Oh, I think it. Well, wait. Oh, it's Kansas City, I believe. Kansas City folks were locking up the doors to the courthouse so they couldn't do eviction trials. They couldn't do eviction notices because that's all the eviction moratoriums are up. This happened in Nevada today too. The eviction moratoriums have ended, and so now there's a bunch of eviction notices expected, and the angry mob is fighting back against it, I guess you would say. And it's prime territory for communist insurrection. You know, the economic instability, all the economic impacts are prime communist recruiting grounds, and that's what I said on Twitter. Is like they're gonna be able to throw a rock and radicalize people. Where you have those quote unquote accidental guerrillas, like they're gonna be coming out of the woodwork as these people become homeless, get kicked out of their homes and stuff. Like the communist agitators are gonna be able to just drive by any block in any city in America and pick people up to do their willing deeds. You know, it's like and we've seen how organized they are with these protests. Imagine they get enough people in there that are stupid enough that they can radicalize quickly enough to just go out and do even more extreme events. Because once you take away somebody's means of supporting themselves and everything, and take away that support completely, because so many people are reliant on the government to begin with, you take that away, like super radicalized, right? It's not easy. It's not hard to, especially the brain dead, public educated people quickly can be told, it's this capitalist president we got that's destroyed America, all kinds of other things they can fill their head with to get them to do some pretty crazy stuff. So it would definitely be continue to watch as we've getting down to that 19 days before countdown, and that's another thing. As I try to get the last, 2 or 3 months out here in one short lunchtime video. I'll get see some people comment. I'll get you in a second. I just want to get some thoughts out that I've had in the last couple weeks. I think both sides have convinced themselves that they're going to win so bad that no matter what happens, it's going to be complete meltdown. Somebody asked me a couple videos back if I thought I think we accept riots as a given if Trump wins, right? That riots are baked in the cake. They're going to happen. They're going to happen probably regardless, even if Biden wins from the left, because the left is rioting in leftist-owned cities, right? I mean, these are places that have been run by Democrats and communists for decades, and they're rioting there already, and that's going to continue, I think, because it's part of the instability program. But he asked if there would be riots if Trump wins from the right, and I was like, no, there won't be. The right will not riot. It will not be a riot. There will not be out in the middle of the street in the middle of the night, burning businesses and breaking windows. That's not what's going to happen. It'll be much. If there's any action by people who say they align with that side or whatever, it'll be much darker and much more covert and more targeted. Just put it that way. It'll be a targeted approach, literally. I think if that goes down that way, especially if there's shenanigans, which with all the ballots being found in dumpsters and in people's back porches and trash bags and in ditches and stuff, like everybody assumes that the fraud is cake baked in as well. So both sides have convinced themselves that the other side is committing fraud. So that's already radicalizing groups, So it's a continuing process. And so I guess we just expect the worst and hope for the best, pray for the best, but expect the worst without a doubt. Going back to that thoughts about I had a couple of months ago about understanding your area and where the seams in your community are, where the seams and political seams and your economic seams, about how those can be torn apart quickly and how that gap's going to get filled. And if it's not the places that are dominated by one side or the other that you necessarily have to worry about. It's the areas that are more commingled where things can get worse the fastest, if that makes any sense. And political centers capitals are part of that, I think. So yeah, we got 19 days to figure it all out and hope we don't get involved, right? Stay out of the fracas. Because if you don't stay out of the fracas, the the thing waiting in the wings to come out is still the federalized police state, and that's what the all into this all is going to be that swooping in to save everybody that everybody's begging for, or that the large majority of people are just want safety and peace, and that's what's going to come in to save them is this big federalized police state when all this stuff continues to get out of control. You kind of see some of it in Portland. Obviously, one side cheers it on, the other side is all apoplectic about it, like, and it's bad for everybody, you know. So I don't know. We will see how it rolls out, but I do think that is what's coming. Is they're just waiting for an opportunity to justify the further federalization of everything, and that's going to be bad for all of us, not just the people in the cities, not just people directly affected by the elections, not just those that are bought into the elections. It's going to be bad for all of us. So let me check in here with the comments. I saw lots of people checking in. Rooster Cogburn, long time. What's up, bro? Angel R's, what's up? Going on in South Florida. Hope you're probably doing pretty frosty. But I don't know. Are those Cubans going to burn things down if Trump doesn't get elected? Hey, what's up, M Long? Prepared in Kentucky as best you can, right? How's the boat racing going? Is boat racing season canceled because of the COVID? I guess that's one of those things, like so many random things, you know, have just been canceled for no reason other than a government mandate, and you can't meet it, you know, because they say you can do things, like you can do meetings and group things, but you have to meet certain, you know, standards. Like you have to do certain actions in so many places. Like we should all move to South Dakota the way things have been going, right? But in some of my travels, I also know that a lot of people are just ignoring things. But organized sports, you know, is one example. You know, youth sports, stuff that really has no business being dealt with. And now that they're getting close to Thanksgiving, there's all these warnings like, oh no, family get-togethers are going to cause a super event, the biggest. It's like they're setting us up for the fall for something. You know, it's like, nah, I don't know. And they keep pointing to total number of infections when the real issue of death rates and hospital utilization is the real issue. And it's really the only thing the government should be doing is helping hospitals make sure they have what they need and they have the space to treat people. It's all they should be concerned with. Because if somebody gets in a hospital and they die anyway, it's not because they didn't get treatment, it's because they were just gonna go. Because you can't stop it from spreading. We've had that evidenced here when you got multiple people on the governor's staff. You got people on both sides of presidential staffs or presidential candidate staffs getting it. It's like you can't stop it. It's going to go. It's going to spread. But the whole idea was to mitigate it. But they didn't do that. And the shutdowns were more for other reasons, I think. But anyway. Hey, Mark, what's up? Mark 88. What do you think about female DIs? Oh, that whole shutting down the boot camps. I don't. Well, I went to Parris Island, first of all. So I didn't know what you meant by that to begin with. But I don't know. They said they're going to shut down both of them and move it somewhere else from what I read. I know it's about it's like they just made something up it's probably somebody's convinced them that they're going to save money by doing something that I guess they'd move it to Pendleton or Lejeune or something. I don't know. When just run with what they got. I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, whatever. Ungrateful Peasant, what is going on? How you doing? Don't suggest constitutionally sound methods of removing officials. Yeah, right. The people don't like the American tradition of how we handle overreaching government. That's the American tradition doesn't go this far, right? That's the thing. Hey, Saints and Sappers, what's up? Saints is present and accounted for. Buy the dip in silver. All right. Yeah, it got down to like what, 21 something? That was a nice. I think it like loaded out at like 21 something, but it just bounced off of that and it held down below 23 for a while. Now it's back up above 24, I think. So, you know, is what it is. Catch those dips when you can. If you get it, you've got some extra cash, but really, I mean, who's saving money at this point? Like what are you saving for? Like putting it all into food and water, You know, if you can find ammo, maybe. But yeah, I don't know that I would necessarily be saving. If you're looking to save money, you know, I'd be buying silver. But if you're not looking to be saving right now, like I wouldn't. I would be putting it towards other things. Hair on Fire bunch turned out. Got the black powder rifles headed to the cabin this weekend. Says M Long. All right. Right, Rooster, better dead than red. Some people don't believe communists are real, Rooster. People have been indoctrinated so far, they laugh at you when you even mention communist, and have been convinced that the corporatocracy, which is a huge enemy, is um, the only problem we face, I guess you'd say. They don't believe there's, you know, multiple threats that we face. You know, hey, no pal Pika, what's up? How you doing down south? Chance, what's up? You missed it. What Chance? What did you miss, Chance? What chat? We just got on here a little bit ago, so you haven't missed much. Yeah, right, Rooster. We would love our police. Exactly. There was a big to-do about one of his recent rallies. They had a huge, you know, they had a big Garrison flag in the Blue Lives Matter colors. People still don't get the symbolism and the just, and in my, it's borderline treason in my eyes. If it's definitely disrespectful to the American flag. It's like people that fly that blue line flag will be the first to tell you you're disrespecting the flag by taking a knee, but don't see the irony of them flying that flag with a blue line through it with no colors, taking all the symbolism out of the American flag and putting their little pet project onto it. They don't see the irony at all. You know, it drives me crazy. But it's hard to rationalize with people when they think that just because you oppose them that you're automatically on the other side. They don't. So many people don't believe that there's multiple sides of the issue. When the balkanization goes down and there's more than two sides, those people are going to be the most affected. And there's a lot of them. Oh, Saints and Sappers redacted messages, so I can't read them. Great. I assume, Wayne, you're talking to Chance, getting together. I am not going to SoCal, I'll tell you that much. Right? No Pal Pika, don't want to live in a police state if we don't already, right? Canceled. Oh, yeah, your boat race and stuff's been canceled there, M Long? Figures, right? Too many people congregating in one space. Kentucky, hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. Back from the mountains in November. The smoke. You still got smoke down south there? You guys still under the gun of the smoke going down in fires? I didn't know that they were still. We've been clear of smoke for a couple of weeks now. It's been good. I think we're out of the woods, I guess you would say. Hoople's cat sighting. What? Hey, Hooples, how you doing? You know, you put your Thursday fun video out yesterday, so I haven't watched it yet. So I get to watch it on Thursday. I'm just trying to follow instructions, but I'm way behind on video watching. Like I said earlier, I haven't watched but a handful of videos. I watched a little bit of Guns Coast to Coast. I may have caught one of Wayne's videos in the last month. Like, it's been pretty thin. Hooples is going to get a Tesla cell phone implanted in your brain. Is that what he's working on? I know they're working on implants. I didn't know he was working on a cell phone, but I guess, you know, it's all going to be uploaded to the Borg eventually, right? That's the agenda. That's what the article recently about Sweden and their chip implants that they're working on in Sweden. Right? Hooples would want implants, right? Yeah, Vegas sucks, right? Pico. Rooster, you were in Southern Nevada at the beginning of the year? Is that right? I wouldn't say it's really nice there. Well, it depends on where you were, but especially in the middle of the summer. Well, you're there at the beginning of the year, so it's cooler. I guess it depends on where you're at. There's some good areas. Lincoln County's got some really nice areas down there. Once you get once you get south of Pahrump, it gets kind of thin. Slim choices. Stay away from Vegas. Vegas that's one place. Vegas is going to get hit the hardest, the mostest. They've already documented the number of their expected foreclosures coming, the homeless, the evictions, the lack of tourism, the lack of business, the lack of jobs. All that stuff is rolling together, and it still hasn't fully hit yet because of that moratorium on evictions. So over the next month, this stuff is going to roll out in Vegas. And with winter being a more slow area, the more longer other places are locked down, there's lots of crime going on already. The crime rates have increased, and they're talking about that. It's just Vegas is not going to be a place to go or be, because there is not much support there, and you are 300 miles from anything in any direction. There is nothing for a long ways. So as far as, yeah, I just don't see Vegas handling this well at all. Vegas, I think I said it on a Twitter comment, Vegas is probably gonna be one of the first fully federalized cities, so that they can keep control of it, so the high rollers can still do their gambling and stuff, but it'll be basically a federalized state. I can see that happening. Yeah, Saint, I was kind of talking about that at the beginning. It's kind of the point of the title. Everybody, all these channels getting deleted, right? Really crazy stuff. So I got to up my game, Saint. I got to get my videos going so I can get canceled before the election. That's kind of my goal, you know. Well, I'm sure we could do it. We just got to say the right keyword, right? That whole Biden's son thing got all kinds of things on Twitter blocked and canceled and taken down and everything else. And here on YouTube as well, I believe, is all tied to that. Hey, Uman, what's going on? Lurking in the chat. All right. Drive on. Wheels, eyes on the road, right? Yeah, Australia has fire still. Wow. Well, I guess are they going into fire season because they're coming out of winter? So I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess it depends on, I guess out in the outback, it's always dry, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, election chaos smoke, says Chance. Is that what you're talking about? You waiting for that to clear out before you, are you working remote? See who catch up here. Rooster, you're right up next to the Sierra Nevadas. Well, if you're next to the Sierras, you weren't in southern Nevada. The White Mountains kind of cut across their central Nevada, but the Sierras are quite a distance from Pahrump if you're down in that area. But they really run up here in northern Nevada. Like you're looking at the Sierras. I mean, that's the Sierras right there. So that's up here in northern Nevada. The Sierras are right here. But Wayne hasn't been working on videos lately. Right, Nevada would be nice. Yeah, Rico, or it'd be nice to have a constitutional carry state. Really, you just got to do what you got to do and carry when you need to. State can't control you. Better be safe than sorry. Working remote, Chance? How's that possible? I thought you had to do surveys. Thought you had to actually physically survey stuff. All right, but I guess remote work, I guess, would be nice. Like I said, there's still people that have been working remotely and have been basically locked down in their homes, and I'm just baffled by it. Like, I did all that traveling early on, and I've did a lot of traveling since, and it's like I don't get how people are still stuck in their house and think they need to be. It just baffles me. I mean, I guess unless you're 70, 80 years old, I get that. I understand those people being really cautious, but your average middle-aged person, like, you better get to hustling, because you're getting behind the power curve with all this madness that's fixing to go down. I don't know how you survey remote, Chance, but that's your story. I'm just listening to it. All right. Icario, you can get a shotgun, you can get an AR. You know, probably it's best to get a shotgun first anyway. In my opinion, some people would say go with the AR first, but whichever, whatever your poison is, but definitely get something to arm up, save up the cash. What did I? What was my cue cough there? I missed it, Hooples. Was that on cue? Was that for the COVID? Yeah, but like I was saying it earlier too, Hooples is like the whole point of all of this madness was to keep hospitals from being overwhelmed and to keep people so they when they got sick they could get treatment. When people get treatment, they still die. That's just going to be the way nature works. You're not going to be able to stop that. There is no cure, and everybody's acting like if we have any sickness, like it's a failure. They're trying to pin this whole thing like you realize we're going to have a lot more cases over the years. This isn't going away. This isn't going to disappear next year. It's going to continue. Everybody's going to have it at some point of some type, but everybody's acting like if any sickness or death happens, it's all everybody wants to point fingers. It's not you're not wearing your mask. That's why we're having these people getting sick. It's going to spread. Just minimize it. Make sure our hospitals can treat people as they need to. But everybody wants to pick fingers and blame somebody else for things just making their way down and causing all the other third order effects is really putting the pinch on things. We're so far over jumping the shark on this. Hey, Jay Ufam, what's up? Good to see you. I think I checked out on Wes's chat a while back. Was it last week? A couple weeks ago? I tried Poison Stinger's been doing his nightly chat that I was kind of watching pretty regular. And then I got out of that and I got to watch another one. They did the one on the debate. Then I watched the one after that, I think. So it was like a week ago. Yeah, Poison Stinger's been doing a lot of good chats. Just I haven't been able to watch them all. It is what it is. But people are still putting out lots of stuff, still talking about important things and skills and learning and stuff. But I've just been not participating, so I'm out of the loop. You guys probably are well up to date. Wait, what did Wayne say? Wayne says had to smuggle truckloads of food and supplies into the Navajo reservation because of their lockdowns. Right, the reservation's locked down, right? Oh, you were smuggling food to the family members? Yeah, I know you don't want to be. I don't think they let you on the reservation unless you're part of. I think that's like his for several reservations up here too. Where was it? I think it's the one up by Pyramid Lake. Was basically locked down. They closed the lake. There's no fishing. All this stuff. And the tribes have a lot of challenges because they don't have a lot of healthcare, a lot of access, and plus they have a lot of elderly population. So they're in a real bind. They really don't want to have any outbreaks, even though they've been getting some, sick people, obviously. But and they have a real communal nature anyway. So it's really putting a pinch on some of those the native tribes and stuff. Hey, Matt, Guns and Gear. What's up, RTT? You're not currently wearing a mask? Virtue breathing on everyone. I made a comment on Twitter. I was like, people who wear a mask in their own car they should be mentally evaluated because that is the most psychotic thing. Like, people are crazy. Like, you people really don't know what you're doing. You're just doing it because they're either so fearful or just so much order followers. Like, I don't get it. Like, you'll see people. It's anecdotal. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a lot of people, but people who you would normally look at and be like, they're totally normal, wearing a mask, walking around like out here somewhere like this by themselves, almost wearing a mask. It happens, It's like, oh goodness, there's no hope for humanity, at least not in that small family, at least. Hoople says it'll take down a lot of channels in the near future. Possibly. The way they've been going, they've been going at the cyclic rate, right? But good to see you, Matt. Yeah, Matt, you did that video a couple of weeks back, or it was 4th of July, I guess. Was that 4th of July or was that Labor Day? That was Labor Day weekend where you went to that lake. You were going in the Tahoe, and I just read it real quick, and I clicked on it, and I thought you were coming to Tahoe. I thought you were coming up here, and I was like, oh, cool. Matt came up to Tahoe, and I was like, wait, oh, he's in the Tahoe. Oh, I get it now. uh, that was good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of insanity. People doing things for the wrong reasons, and not doing things well as well, like you said, Wayne. And I mean, Hooples has done videos on wearing masks properly for years, and then the government comes out and says, any old thing you put around your face will do. That probably made Hooples apoplectic, I'm sure. Because what happens, and there was a recent survey, I guess, from people who got it. A lot of them, it was like 70-80% were strict. They said they were fairly good about wearing their mask, at least, or who knows if how much truthful it was to it. But what it does is it provides a false sense of security for people, and they think that so many of them have been believing a lot of things they hear. They're like, oh, this will protect me no matter what they do. So they do other unsafe behaviors, right? Like touching their face, they don't wash their hands or whatever, and they still get it, and they wonder why. Well, I wear my mask. Well, there's other things. Other the mask does not solve all your problems, but it's been put forward as like this is the thing. This is the one. This is the thing that will do. I mean, I haven't seen a wash your hands sign as a part of this whole push out since February or March, probably. They haven't talked about those things at all. The little things that we do every flu season that you talk about, that you hear in the news or you hear PSAs for, right? Like those things have just disappeared, and it's all about the mask. Like you realize that that's not it. Which when you have something pushed like that, it makes you think there's another agenda, right? You automatically go, well, that's not the end all be all, so there must be an agenda behind it. Your natural logical mind kind of takes us that direction, and that's where a lot of the other people start spinning the conspiracies and everything's like, well, if it's not the end all be all, but they make it out like it is, and there's something else afoot, right? That's just where people's minds actually go, and people just wear the mask, think they're going to be okay, and they get sick, and they're like, well, I wore my mask. Well, there's other things that are important. You can't just dilly dally about and do whatever during your day, especially if you're really close to people. But anyway, I didn't want to get into that. It's frustrating. It's like it'd be better to actually do this. If people would just do the little things and the government wouldn't have so much heavy handed on this whole thing. And if the government would have led, or the government leaders would have led instead of dictating, things probably would have been a lot better. But the dictates really, especially in America, put people off and cause division and everything else. Wayne, you're gonna be mad if you lose your channel right when you get some good ride gear. What? Some good gear? Oh, you just got a new camera? Oh, I see. Yeah, you just start putting out quality content and they take it away, right? Yeah, that's why I just don't invest in my channel, Wayne. Just be like me. Just don't invest, just write it out. Right. Chance says he thinks COVID will be gone by November 4. Well, it's going to have to be, because there's going to be so much other madness going on. Everybody forget about it, right? Who knows? It depends on which state you're in, I think, Chance. The governor of California is so loony, I don't think it's ever going away. That's just the situation that you're in over there. Yeah, Wayne, it's cool. I'm just giving you a hard time, man. It's cool. Do what you need. But I guess we'll wrap it up, folks. That's been 30 minutes of lunch, and I didn't hardly eat anything as I was sitting here talking. And I'm gonna have to get going. But it's been good to check in with everybody. Thanks for dropping by, leaving some comments. Good to see everybody still existing, or at least somebody shadowing your channel and commenting for you, it looks like, if nothing else. But I know some of you put out some videos. I've seen those, so it is what it is. But things are still going as they are here. Our political situation is tenuous. Continue to evaluate how that's going to play out after the 19 days are over, because the Vegas could get ugly. But the capital is really the concern near here, with our governor being such a moron, and the opposition to him is getting very restless. So I don't know. We'll see what happens the more and more that they push these business shutdowns and everything else with very little rhyme or reason. And like I said, no leadership. It's all dictatorial control. Doesn't play well. Even if you, and just saying you're right doesn't mean you're right. You know, treating the citizens like their children in large respect in many places, and here is not an exception. In the places, for a large expanse of Nevada, people are pretty much like disobedient children to a lot of this stuff. It's like, yeah, whatever. You say all you want. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But y'all be good out there. Definitely stay frosty. You got the 19 days to evaluate and continue to get your micro prepping in, like I said. And like Wayne was talking about the drop in silver, like, I mean, really, who's saving money right now, right? If you're still putting money in a savings plan, yes, sure, drop some into silver, but I don't know if that's for at least the next 19 days. I don't know. Maybe if it went back down to 18, I guess I always have a trigger point. I always have a plan in place. Like if X happened, then that would be my like, oh, we got to do this. Like we should have bought ammo years ago. Most of us did, but hopefully people aren't running out. Getting a little thin in the 5.56 training ammo, that's for sure. But it is just continue to train effectively and not worry so much about round count. Keep the round count low in whatever you're doing, and just work on the muscle memory stuff and the target acquisition and the high heart rate and all that stuff. Doesn't have to be high round counts to get good training. Hopefully everybody's learned that from watching the channel over the years. I kind of tried to emphasize that in all those. We did those range videos like 4 or 5 years ago. It's been. That was kind of the whole point. It was like effective training with minimal rounds expended, Emphasize magazine changes, emphasize movement. A mag dump doesn't really do anybody any good. So, all right, we're done here, YouTube. You have a good day. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the comments. We will see you out there in the internet somewhere. Live free.